Hi Aquarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for December 2012. But before I get into that, I just want to say a few words about this very famous December that's had a lot of speculation and movies made about it. You may know about that, or maybe you don't. But this is the December of the prophecy. So it's a very special time. This is true. But just in a nutshell, on this winter solstice, the 21st of December 2012, the moon's going to be in Aries. Now the moon moves every 2 days throughout the year, but it's going to be in Aries, which does hint at new beginnings and sort of pioneering energy. And the Sun is going to be conjunct an asteroid called Juno, which I don't usually mention, and also in a wide conjunction with Pluto, the planet of radical change. So it will be toned by these two. Now Juno is about collective remembering, and I think it could very well be about our true origins as ourselves, as spirits, having a bodily experience in a sort of very limited dimension, which is the fourth dimension here, and it's also likely to trigger memories about our origins and our realization of remembrance about why we chose to be here at this pivotal moment in Earth's long history. And there is going to be a lineup happening between the Earth and the Sun and the galactic center on the 21st of December, but also because we're talking about such vast areas, we've been coming into this lineup for decades, but particularly just this little bit more than a decade. It's been getting really close. December the 21st is when it's supposed to be right on there, and then we will very slowly move out of that over a decade, more than a decade to come. But we're right in sort of like the eye of the storm of the intensity of the energies at the moment. And on that particular day, yes, it will be very powerful. And I think from that day we'll be increasingly able to recall our deep contracts with the past, our soul family, more manifesting around us about our family, our soul family, also our spiritual path. And December the 21st, 2012 marks the turning point moment when the Sun conjunct Juno, conjunct Pluto, helps us to emerge from the long galactic winter of 25,626 years into the first rays of the galactic spring. And we begin to awake from the long sleep of forgetfulness as at last our whole solar system starts to orbit back towards the galactic center and not away from the galactic center as it has done for millennia. And from what I have been picking up, this is truly a momentous time, because it's not just our little planet that is shifting, but it's the whole shebang. All throughout the galaxy, on all of the dimensions, planes, levels, there's a shift going on. So it's it's attracted a lot of attention to us. It's very important how well we do, and we're doing well here. And I think it's going to, the frequencies that are affecting bathing our planet, which have been bathing our planet for quite a while now, is going to increase, and over 2013. But if you can be somewhere on that date, you know, 21st of December 2012, which is you're still in your mind, and you know, and it's quiet, and just take a little time over that day, it would be a good thing to sort of set an intention there. And I think that this time we will start remembering more and more. There will be spontaneous awakenings happening, and probably more ET and UFO type interactions which have been going on for decades and decades and decades and decades anyway, but there's going to be more, and we're going to know ourselves more as part of the collective, part of the group, because we are graduating here. And understanding ourselves more as spiritual beings of light as we begin this age of Aquarius. We're still very much in Pisces, but just the tiniest glimmerings of Aquarius are coming in, and that's going to be a 2,000-year cycle. So the long remembering will begin in earnest, I think, from 21st of December, and we will be coming home to our origins, to the beating heart of love and unity, at the center of the galaxy and the center of ourselves, which we always carry there. And we will be coming back. If Juno's got anything to do with it, we are coming back into the right relationship with the mothership, and that mothership is Mother Earth herself, and starting to work with her more rather than trying to dominate her and overcome her and control her. Because she knows a thing or two, and she's a bit smarter than we are. Now, you Aquarius, in just on the level of the personality over the month of December, well, as the month kicks off, it's a very sociable time, as it usually is at this time of the year. And friendships are going to be important. Connections all across the board are going to be important. Could be some new involvement. Could be a new kind of feeling of community or kindred spirits, or maybe it's just an old one. This is just a period when you can, through who you know, almost feel as though things are rolling forwards a bit more quickly, because it's progressive. It's got a real progressive feel to it, and your thinking will probably be quite future orientated from the 11th onwards. But generally, this is a time for almost like dipping your toe into certain waters and sort of, you know, seeing how it goes, or being a bit experimental about things. Networking is highlighted as well, you know, online forums, all that kind of community, connecting in with a collective thought is very strong. And in general, a governing factor until the 21st won't be so much what you know, but who you know, and what can come about through your association with them, and also sharing knowledge with them, particularly after the 11th. And from the 21st, the sun, then it moves out of there and it goes into quite a background area. It's very sort of different. It's sort of more solitary kind of feel, or if it's not that, it's more a feel of service, you know, helping out, being the bridge, being the support, just making space for someone to kind of lean on you there. And still the social get-togethers going on, I think, though. And you can be quite innovative as well. When the sun comes into the perfect conjunction with Pluto on the 29th, 30th, there may be some kind of inner turbulence for some reason, some kind of turmoil, but if you can manage to balance this very sort of cool logic that you've got going for you, Aquarius, with your gut knowing, and you get the two in sync, then you can do okay out of this particular transit of Pluto. But definitely listen to your deeper knowing and your instincts. Because Pluto is all about that, and when Pluto is strong, that is, you know, the way to go. The new moon on the 13th, well, that signals that there can be new beginnings through the areas to do with this very progressive area where the sun is to do with not what you know, but who you know, the old boy network or the old girl network, or just the network, you know, and friends and friendships. And that will be from the 13th for 4 weeks after then, that particularly these changes, these new beginnings can kick off over that period there, and maybe have knock-on effects further along in the year as well. Now, until the 11th, conversations, correspondence and ideas are really quite centered around you know, your goals, your ambitions, and what you're targeting, what you want to achieve. and this will be going on right now if you listen to this in November probably. And so you will be thinking about where you're going from here in a short-term way, but also probably for some of you it will be, where am I going from here in life in general? What's the master plan, you know? And so turning that over in your mind and having, you know, maybe corresponding centered around that, definitely chatting with others. And career, life direction, a new enterprise, or anybody who can facilitate your aims are all likely to be highlighted. You just see, you know, which way the wind is blowing by how things are unfolding. And you want to be putting your best foot forward with how you express yourself, or any writings you have to do, or anything you've got to put out there in the way of, you know, your thoughts onto a wider stage. For some of you, travel, transport vehicles, communications equipment could be highlighted. And then from the 11th, and by the way, on the 11th, you might overlook something, or there might be some kind of crossed wire going on there because of a blip of a transit with Neptune. But then from the 11th onwards, Mercury will then having you put the mental focus into the area where the Sun is, in this very lively, sociable area, progressive area. Thoughts are very future orientated, and you connecting up with people, ideas, in person, over the wires, and really maybe thinking about things in a little bit of a different kind of a way. That's all together possible then, and useful information can come to you from the group or from a friend, and or experiences as well. And you know, any contact, new or old, can be very informative and grist to your mental mill, Aquarius. Now, until the 16th, Venus is at the top of your solar chart, which is a very, very beneficial position for Venus to be. That means that authority figures, parents, guardians will tend to see you in a good light, or better light, or not such a bad light, but no, in a good light. You know, it just tends to give you that little bit of an edge there with somebody in a position of power, or an establishment figure, or something like that. And that, just that little bit of a boost can be invaluable actually to your success in some way, whether it's like a career orientated thing, or whether it is simply, you know, in your general sort of life direction. Somebody there in some position to help you can actually be the facilitator. And someone could play a supportive role to your making the right move in the right direction at the right time. And there could even be a social situation, or a relationship with somebody who is in a position to help you out. Also, it could be a parent as well, that you are having more of an interaction with at this time. And you yourself could be seen as the one who can put their weight behind somebody else, that you're in a position of power compared to this other, and you can help him or her out yourself. Now, from the 16th, sorry, until the 16th, no, I meant from the 16th, that's right, from the 16th, friends and acquaintances, that's when Venus comes into the area where the Sun is. All of that's going to be very well starred, all of that group gathering, collective mind, energy, and pooling forces, resources, information, but hanging out with friends is more likely from that date, and that covers the whole of the sort of the holiday period, not on through into New Year. So it's a great place for it to be over this festive season for you, Aquarius. And it, you know, hail fellow, well met, you know, there's this really sort of warm feeling, embracing feeling of friendship there. But also certain tapping into certain groups as well can be beneficial to you as well. And maybe calling in a favor, or maybe, you know, maybe not, maybe somebody calls in a favor from you, or well, however it is, but get-togethers are very well starred anyway. Until the 26th, Mars is in a very background area, so you want to help actually. You'll be in quite a cooperative frame of mind within all of this social mixing and mingling and connecting. There is this feeling of wanting to be of service, is putting yourself out in some way, and maybe just getting on with things quietly behind the scenes, sometimes, maybe with a group of others, maybe not. And looking after yourself, though, as well, Aquarius. Don't forget that, and draw the line, you know, where necessary. And Mars is about initiating new beginnings, so Mars is coming into your sign from the 26th, and that means that you will be feeling a lot more out there and dynamic and really certain about things that maybe you weren't so much before. You were just kind of feeling your way a bit. And then Mars comes into your sign, and you can get a lot done, and be more certain about things, and really putting physical effort into things during the several weeks that Mars is in your sign. That will be well on into January. In fact, it's probably going to be almost to the end of, around about the end of January, even on into February. But anyway, it will be covering January as well. And your environment could have more hustle and bustle, and just you may be zooming around more. It could be, or just not zooming around, but just being more dynamic and proactive in some way. And this is an opportunity for you to get on with whatever it is you need to be doing for yourself, and whatever program you got to get with to improve things. And Mars doesn't like hanging around. He's the great initiator of the zodiac. Can be a bit hasty, so watch out for that. Don't go tripping over your own shoelaces in your enthusiasm to rush ahead. You know, don't overstretch yourself or overreach yourself, so just watch your step as you go forwards. That's it for December. And if you want to know what Jupiter and Saturn and the other slow moving planets are doing, have a look at my website. Also, you might listen to your forecast for your rising sign or your moon sign, if you know what they are. That can sort of add to or subtract from what I've said here, but use it in a different way than this reading, because if this is the one for your sun sign. And may I wish you a happy time during the festive season, and I will see you the next time.